For Retro's sake here. Today I am bringing you Recca. Recca is a game that if you play on the NES, you're probably not too familiar with this game. You've possibly only played it one other place, and that would be on the Nintendo 3DS. Recca is a game that was developed by NES Soft for the Summer Carnival 1992. Now, I don't have this game on the Famicom, where typically that is where you're going to find this game, is on the Famicom. I have this game on an NES cart. I was lucky enough to get a hold of this with the box, the manual, and the game and all. Now, this is obviously a reproduction, as it was never released on the NES. But I gotta say, this game plays on the NES very well, and it is super fast. And I'm gonna die a lot, and that's okay, because here at For Retro's Sake, we die often, and I'm okay with that. I don't get all wah, 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 I'm dying too much. I don't throw my controllers. Heck, I wear gloves, so I obviously don't throw my controllers. Not to say that I didn't want to as a kid. There were plenty of times. I'm not even kidding you. At one point, what we had in our household as brothers was a pillow that we threw the controller into. So nothing like damaging a controller would happen. But if we're being honest here, that was just so our father didn't hear us throwing the controller. Talk about maintaining that inner anger. We're going to jump right into the normal game. I'm going to try to give you some information on Recca as I play. One of the coolest parts about Recca is that if you don't hit the shoot button, which is your B button, right away, it will start collecting a bomb in front of your ship. And that bomb destroys other items, other enemies, anybody that comes in contact with that said bomb. So as you see there, I'm not holding anything. I let go of it and it starts blowing everything up. Now, I've died already too many times for this to be my actual run through of it. But I've really only owned this game for about 2 days, as I had never owned it before and I don't have a Famicom. So getting this game was a rarity in its own. I had been looking for it to possibly purchase on the NES, but every time that I came across being able to purchase it, I would find it to be like a very jankety version of it, if you will. A not so pretty looking version of it. And I wanted one that actually had, you know, a good NES feel to it. Looked like an NES game. As you see there, we've made it through the first level, first stage. So I've been playing it enough here that I can get through a stage and still be talking. So that's a good thing. But don't let me fool you at all in how hard this game is. One of the most amazing things in the game, to me personally, is that you can also change the speed to which the ship moves. As I've read some, this will also be the deciding factor on how far you make it in certain levels, as certain levels require the ship to be moving at a certain speed. So I don't expect to completely beat the game today, but I do expect to give it a good run for its money. I'm not doing that right now, as we're already at game over. So one of the questions that you might be asking yourself about NES Soft is, if you're an NES fan, is how come I don't have any other games made by NES Soft? Like, There's no other Naxatsoft games. Not that I've found. Not produced for NES. Naxatsoft was primarily a Japan release style game. And on top of that, Naxatsoft, if you just look at those letters, N-A-X-A-T, it should look kind of familiar to you. If you were to just say, flip the words around. Just flip those letters around. You're going to get yourself Taxan. Taxan made games like Mappy's Island, or Mappy Land, sorry. Burrow Fighter. They also made ADOTS. Mystery Quest. Getting blown up. Burrow Fighter. G.I. Joe. Star Soldier. Fist of the North Star. I'm really not doing well this round. It is not a game to sit around and chit-chat while trying to play this. It is fun, though. Talk about an awesome shoot 'em up. Guy down the side, just hating my life. So this is the part where you just let go of it. Now, this bomb is also like a mini force field in front of you. So it will take small gunfire, but not the larger gunfire. Another game that's made by Taxan is Magician and Low G-Man. There was one game that I found that was made by Taxan that was never released. It was called Putt Master. Can only imagine what that game would have ended up being like if it would have been released. Because it would have been released late in the Nintendo game releases, so it could have been one of the greatest golf games of all NES history. R.I.P. Putt Master. So we're going to give it another run here a couple of times. A couple of things that you might wonder is some of the weapons that are released, what those stand for. B, as one of the upgrades, is Barrage. F is for five-way homing, or five-way. H is for homing. V is for Vulcan. I'm not too sure what the R stands for. I might have to look that one up. I do know that one of my favorite ones is the five-way. As you're going through, you can pick up other add-ons that will give you side weapons to shoot. That can be done by pressing the A button. When I said earlier that you can change up the speed of your ship, I never got to show you changing up the speed of the ship. So once we start this over here again, I'll show you. Pushing select is what speeds up your ship. And if you look down at the left corner there, see how you can decrease it to this speed. You can increase it to this speed, this speed, this speed, and this speed. Now, obviously, you're going to think, well, I just want to be the fastest ship. That's what I would think. But it really doesn't play to your advantage because I'm telling you, that is fast. Like, that is scooting. And sometimes trying to keep up with what is already going on screen is just almost too fast. But I do love the speed. Like, woo, everywhere, all over the screen. This game is so much fun. You play this for hours, like this style of game. At the end, I will pop the cart out and show you what the cart looks like. And I'll add a couple of pictures to show what the internals look like on it as well, given that it is what we would call a homebrew. If you were to game over, like we just did there, it defaults you back to the original speed, 2-speed. I don't know too many times when playing this game that I've been at an advantage if I lowered the speed, but I'm sure as I play it more, I'm going to notice that there's times where there's an advantage to that. Now, one of the cooler things that you can do is if you sit there, see how my score is still going up through the roof right now? I'm not shooting or anything. There's a setting in the game where if you don't use the weapon at all, you get more score. You get a higher score. I'm kind of in the way of the score right now, so I'll try to put myself over by the time, and maybe that will help so you can see the score going through the roof as I'm not even doing anything. See, like, it's already going up and I'm not doing anything. Technically get a little bit more of a power boost the least that you use the weaponry. And I mean, minus me dying right there, you can get pretty far as long as you don't get hit back, like they come from behind you and hit you. Then you're kind of done. Like, but I like to have the speed at the top setting for this first level, just until I, get the idea of how fast I really do need to be going. Recca coming out in 1992 was part of what it says at the top, a summer carnival. Hudson Soft used to run a summer carnival in Japan for a lot of years. I mean, I want to say that it started around the 80s, and the thing with the Naxat Soft Summer Carnival was it only went on for 3 years, 91, 92, and 93. The game that was released in 91 was called Spigen, and then in 93 they had a game called Nexer Special. They were all shoot 'em ups. This one was one of the only ones that, from what I understand, it was all timed by stopwatches. So I guess this timer edition that's on there now just wasn't something that was on the games that they were playing there. Talk about a different time and something that would have been awesome to be a part of. I'm not saying that I would have, been the Recca winner of this carnival, but like, this is a game that I would have sat around playing a lot, and I really do enjoy this game. Just for the short amount of time that I've had it, I could see myself getting lost in this for hours. I'm not exactly showing you right now how good I am at this, but I am trying to chit-chat about the game and play it at the same time, and that's got to be unheard of. Like, you talk to some people playing this game, like, I ain't seen nobody do what I'm doing right now on YouTube. I haven't seen anybody playing this game and trying to chit-chat with you and see how far they can get. So I hope that you find it entertaining. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're enjoying the content that I put out, give it a like. Share it with somebody that you think might like to see somebody play some old school NES games on the NES. No emulator here. I'm gonna speed my guy up a little bit because I'm lacking. The homing weapon is awesome, but it's pretty much the standard Vulcan weapon. at the beginning, and all it does is home on the first set of people that hit the screen. So that's all and well, but it also... Ooh. I'm trying to figure out... Yeah, I was hoping that maybe those stars didn't kill me if I got my force field build up there, but that's not working out so well for me. I think what's really surprising about this game is there's so much going on the screen. Like, there's so many sprites, and besides, like, the flickering every once in a while, it never slows down. Like, never. There's never a time where it's, like, slow motion. I think any of you that have ever played any NES game for more than 10 minutes, and it not be like Mickey's Clubhouse or something, you know, Numberland or something slow motion, Firehouse Rescue, Fisher-Price Firehouse Rescue, you always get a little bit of slowdown when there's too much stuff going on the screen. And that's just not the case here. Really makes me wish that I owned a Famicom. But if I owned a Famicom, would I own this game, you should ask yourself. No, I wouldn't. But for retro's sake, why not? Because this game is ridiculously priced, that's why. Look this game up on pricechart.com, okay? Take 10 seconds and go look this game up so you don't have to just believe what I say. Look it up. It is ridiculous what this game goes for. But it is awesome. Like, there's no doubt about that. This game is fun. Look at the background on this. Like, Prince would be so happy with this right now. Got some purple haze in the background. It's purple to me. Maybe it's pink to everybody else. These colorblind glasses only help so much. I'm still a colorblind fool. Alright, so we're going to give this a real go for... See if we can... give it a real official attempt here. If you've ever played this game before, please comment down below. Let me know if maybe you've played this on the Famicom. What other games do you recommend that are on the Famicom? Say I was to get a Famicom. I'd love to hear your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this game in particular. Is this a game that you would play or that you would want to play? Say at like a competition? Have you ever played at a competition before? I'd love to hear that too. I don't know a lot of individuals that can tell me that they've played at a competition level. And I would have loved to have been part of the competitions with Rad Racer and Super Mario Brothers. I think I would have been able to give it a good run for my money, as both of those games I really truly enjoy. I know there was another one that was on that list also. I think it was Rad Racer. I'm a doofus. Rad Racer, Super Mario Brothers, and Tetris, I believe, is what was at the World Championship. And goodness golly, that would have been a blast just to give it a try. Like, almost wish somebody would do that right now. Like, have a competition on an NES, Rad Racer, Super Mario Brothers, and Tetris. Now, if we're just being honest here, probably wouldn't do so well whenever it comes to like Tetris. But Rad Racer was something I spent some hours in, so you just give me a little bit more time with it and I practice, and I'm gonna do alright. I love me some Rad Racer. I've made a recording of Rad Racer. I'll try to add that here. So if you're interested in checking that out, please do so. Not too sure what I'm supposed to do right here besides just keep being strong, because there's times where you like want to go back and forth on the screen, but there's just there's just no chance to sneak in there when the weapons are already being hit, so you might as well just wait. Ooh. Well, talk about getting blown away by whatever that was shooting at me right away in level 2, stage 2. Let's give this one more run, right? It really has me wondering now what the R stands for. That was one of the only weapons I didn't see when looking through my booklet, but maybe I just overlooked it. This round is not going nearly as well as I wanted it to. I think I'm going to lose all 3 lives in less than 10 seconds. I did better whenever I was chit-chatting. I didn't even know I had another life. I'm okay with it and all, but wow, am I doing terrible. Woo! One more try here. This is going to be a game that I practice quite a bit, and I am going to come back to it. So this won't be the only time that I record this particular game, as I believe it is worth giving it another round or two of some real hard practice of it. But I was very, very excited to put this video out, as this game is just unbelievable. Like, there's just so much going on. Like, the winged upgrades. Oh, I went up there to go get it to show you. Those are score boost, so they don't really help you as far as weaponry goes, but they bring up your score. Trickery. Remembering not to hit the B button at times is difficult as well. Oof, gotta get out of the way. I've been doing pretty good with that first guy. Not so bad. I haven't completely figured out which weapon is the best. And I'm going to guess that, like, not so much as the best, but the best for me. You know, the one that I work best with. So that'll be fun to figure that out. I'm trying to hit the A button as well to see if I can get some upgrades through that, because I'm pretty sure that's shooting those little side cannons. Yeah, it is. Man, I get hit by that thing right away. Like, I don't know what the deal is with that. Cannot get past that second level. Now, as I promised, I said I would take the game out and show you that I have the cart for Recca. This would be the cart for Recca. And some of the obvious giveaway tales to it being a homebrew and or fake would be, if you look down at the very bottom of the sticker, see how those corners are lopped off, they're not rounded. The stickers will not ever be cut off. They'll actually be rounded, as in the top. See how it's rounded there? Okay, and you can tell another thing about this sticker is that it's kind of not meeting down to the bottom there. And there's nothing bad about having a homebrew NES game. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you just have to understand that whenever you're getting into a game like this for the cost that it is, you're going to be having a hard time ever selling this to somebody else without them thinking, well, it's fake. There's something wrong with it. What if it damages my system? Those types of things. Me personally, it's running on there. It's doing well. It's a great game. It's fun. I can't imagine why I would have a problem with this, besides the fact that if I ever tried to resell it, you're reselling this as a reproduction game, homebrew. You made it. I'll show you a couple of pictures of the inserts of it as well, and what the card itself looks like on the inside, because there's a couple of tales right away that it's fake. One being the strips of wire going from one terminal to the other. I've never seen another NES game have that on there, but obviously it runs well, and it's a fast-paced game. So if you're ever able to get a hold of Summer Carnival 92 Recca, I would advise getting it. Don't go wild paying crazy amounts for it, though, because you can get this on the 3DS. Well, this has been fun. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the information and the gameplay. For Retro's sake here, have a great day.